Hello everybody and welcome to the SOE Webcast. Today we are talking about free realms. I am Zatozia, also Lydia Pope. I am the new community manager for free realms. And today I am joined by Chris Magoon. And people in the forums might see him as C. Magoon. Yes, he thought really hard about his name. Wave to the camera.
Hi everyone.
Hi everybody. So today we're going to talk about a little bit about community and what I have planned for the community events, and then we'll switch over to farming, which is going to be a new feature in Free Realms. So I'm going to make the community events part a little short just because I want to hear more about farming. So for community events, we do community events every Tuesday and Thursday for Free Realms. That is going to remain the same. We're still going to do house parties on Tuesday. Yay! I'm excited. I love house parties. We're going to still do those. And we also are going to be switching up a little bit. We're still going to do events on Thursdays, but we're going to switch up a little bit of the types of events that we're going to do. And I'm also hoping to come up with some other events to run on Monday. So those of you who are normally available on Monday and want to see some community events, you'll now be able to participate in some. I'm not going to spoil exactly what I'm doing about it yet because I'm still working on the plans, but I think you'll like it. It's going to be pretty fun. Also, for community, we do trivia on the Facebook page. We'll still be doing that. I just have to figure out what direction we want to go with it, but we'll still be doing that, engaging people on Facebook. Those of you who might not be on the forums, you can feel free to join us on the forums. We do a lot of discussion on there, so if you have any questions, you can ask them on Facebook or on the forums. So I don't want to talk too much about it, but I am, for those of you who don't know, I've been working with the company since May of 1999. That's a long time. I'm celebrating my 12th anniversary on May 7th, so yay! Aww. I think Ragin just called me old. I know you did. He just made a face, called me old. He's behind the camera. Say hi, Joel.
Hey.
There you go. One of these days we're going to get you on camera.
I didn't say you're old, though.
You didn't say I'm old. I guess I said it, didn't I? So, yeah, so I've worked on several of our games. I've worked on EverQuest. I've worked on EverQuest 2, PlanetSide, EverQuest Online Adventures, now Free Realms and Clone Wars Adventures, Star Wars Galaxies. Yeah, so I've worked on pretty much all the games that we've had. Tannerus, and whenever they need somebody to take over a game, I'm like, hey, I'm right here, and they put me on it, so that's where I'm here. And I actually play Free Realms. I play it all the time with my niece and nephews. They have more station cash than I do, so they brag about it to me with all the mounts that they get and house items. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time decorating my house in game. I've got a new lot that I'm getting, and I think I'm going to have to really look into this farming thing. So, like I said, I want to know more about it. So, Chris, what can you tell us about farming?
All right. Well, farming's a new feature that we've been working on for Free Realms for a little while now. It's most people on the forums normally know me as the combat designer, but since this is a really big thing for us, we kind of are putting all hands on deck for this one. So it's a pretty big feature for us. It's kind of similar to the housing system, where you've got a lot and you can set it up yourself and interact with it. But where housing is more of a kind of a self-expression decorating type thing, this is more of a functional thing. It's a farm. You sow the soil, you put your seeds down, you grow your crops, and you harvest them, and then you can sell them for coin and rewards.
So do you need to be a member to farm?
No. Every player is rewarded with they get a free farming lot, I believe, if I remember correctly, and it's similar to a lot of the features in the game where there's level locking at level 5 for it. There isn't a job for farming. It's not like, but there are levels. Your farm levels up rather than
nice.
your character leveling up. So once your farm hits level 5, it'll be level locked. You need to be a member to continue, growing your farm.
So what type of crops do you grow on the farm?
A lot of the crops are similar to the harvested materials that you would get in the overworld for the chef job. So there's like bumbleberry, spiral mint, stainberries, a lot of those old favorites. But we've also added a lot of new ones. Let's see, wild root's one of the new ones, I think. But it's kind of fun. There's one of the things that you can do with your farm. You've got a device on your farm called the Farm-O-Matic. And once you get it to a high enough level, you can actually get 2 different plant samples, and you'll make hybrid seeds. So that's where you're going to be able to start seeing a lot of the new plants that are coming with it. And I guess I should take a step back a little bit. I mentioned samples there for the plants. Part of farming is, so you've got your farm, it's your own little housing instance, but farming doesn't completely take place on your farm. You also go out into the overworld, and you gather plant samples for the plants you want to grow on your farm. There are a few set places in the world where they're always going to spawn, but there are rarer ones all over the world, so you can explore and find them. It's kind of a fun little activity. And so you gather up all those samples, then you take them back to your farm, and you put those samples in your Farm-O-Matic, and it'll turn them into seeds for you, and that's how you get seeds for your farm.
Mm-hmm. So that seems like that is a way that you can make your farm unique by putting in different sample sets.
Yeah, I mean the whatever samples you get is going to determine what plants you can grow, and likewise what I said. Eventually, once your farm hits level 5, your Farm-O-Matic gets upgraded, and that's when you can put 2 samples into the Farm-O-Matic at a time. Mm-hmm. So you'll be able to combine 2 different samples of a plant to make new plant hybrids. See, I think there's like if you mix like a star nut and a spiral mint, one of the things you get is a star mint, and that's a new plant that's going to be available. Ooh. So there's a bunch of different combinations. I forget what the total number was. I think it's somewhere up around 20. So there's lots of different combinations that people are going to be able to experiment with and figure out what makes what. And one of the fun ones is there's one of the plants you grow is the wild root. And wild root's kind of a wild card kind of thing. If you combine that with a plant sample, it'll give you something random. So it's you're always going to get something different when you use the wild root. So that'll definitely be interesting.
Very cool. So you can tend your own farm. Can you go to other people's farms?
Yeah, farming is a bit of a social activity. You're going to be able to visit your friends' farms. You're a little more limited on what you can do on a friend's farm than you can do on your own farm. So on a friend's farm, you're not going to be able to put down soil, plant crops, harvest the crops, or anything like that. But you can, I believe, tend weeds in their garden. You can water their plants for them, I think. And it's a bit more limited, like I said. But okay. You can help out, and I believe there's some kind of reward for helping out. I didn't set that part up, so I don't entirely know.
Okay, well, we'll get more information about that and add it to our little recap notice of it. So what kind of unique items are farming? Do you get like rewards? Like what kind of unique items that you can use for farming besides the O-Matic?
So part of why you're farming is to make a coin. So you grow all your crops and you harvest them, and then on your farm you've got a little kind of like a wagon or a cart that's your farmer's market. So what you do is you grow your crops and you take them to the farmer's market, and it's kind of a buy-in system. You need to have a certain amount of crops before you can go to the market. So once you have enough, you go there, and there's a bunch of different characters in-game that are looking for crops, like a lot of chefs. They need plants for their cooking recipes, so you're kind of providing that to them. And right now, all it is you just put the input in, and then you'll get a reward. So you're going to get coin for selling your crops, but you're also going to get like random rewards on a loot wheel style kind of thing. So there's different wearables, I believe, that you're going to get, illusions that will kind of turn you into cute little packets of seeds, kind of similar to the marshmallow pet for the summer camp, if anyone remembers that. And I think there are also, don't quote me on this one, but I think there are potted plant versions of the plants that you'll grow on your farm, and that you can put those in your housing.
Oh, sounds like a good idea. I like that.
So I think that's there or coming in the near future.
So where did you guys get the idea for putting together this? Were you looking for some kind of activity that they can do, a different, unique activity they can do on a lot, when they were coming up with the idea for farming?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Did you have a big brainstorming meeting and everybody just all of a sudden yelled farming at the same time, or what?
yeah, I mean, this is, I mean, we've been, it's been a while since we've added a new feature this big to free roams.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I mean, you know, we've done a lot with housing. Housing is the most popular thing to do in free roams, at least according to the numbers we're seeing.
Hey, that's what I like doing.
Yeah, so we had this great housing system. We figured, okay, well, how can we build upon this system and do other things with it in kind of like the same vein as housing? And, you know, the, like, Facebook games are really big, like Farmville and stuff like that. And we thought we've got a housing system, and we could do something like that, and it'd be a lot of fun. And since, you know, Free Roams is a 3D game, and we've got a great art team, I mean, we can do a lot with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and, you know, eventually just get kind of games like, hey, why not? It would be perfect for Free Roams.
Yeah, it definitely
so, I mean,
is.
There's a little bit of everything in Free Roams. That's why it's kind of such a fun game to play and such a fun game to work on. Personally, I think.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm glad I joined the Free Roams team now. So on your lot, can you put regular house items down on there?
No, it is similar to a housing lot, but it's restricted only to farming stuff.
Okay.
So you're not going to be able to, you know, take all like your blocks and, you know, all the housing items you have. That's limited strictly to just your housing lots. This is farming, so it's similar to the, you know, housing, to where you can set things down, but it's restricted only to farming items. And I think right now, all you can really put down are your plots of topsoil. So
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of plan out how you're gonna, you know, where you're gonna grow your crops. And when people first log into their farms, the first thing they're gonna notice is it's kind of like a neglected piece of land. There's weeds everywhere. There's lots of rocks and trees growing all over the place. So, you know, there's a lot of work that's going to have to go into farming, but I think the rewards are definitely going to make it worth it. So, I mean, you have to clear, like, all the weeds off or at least enough weeds so you can start putting down some plots of soil. Eventually, you get tools that you get to use on your farm that'll make
Mm-hmm.
farming a lot easier for you. So, one of, like, kind of the central kind of fixtures in your farm is your tool shed. And so you're going to be interacting with that a lot while you're playing. And there's all sorts of different things in your tool shed. There's, you know, your watering can, like a shovel, and a lot of the tools are level locked. So I mean, as your farm levels up, you'll gain access to more of these tools. So, and yeah, it starts out, you only have like a simple watering can. So what happens is, you know, you plant your seed in the ground, and you need to water or else it's not going to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go to your tool shed, grab your watering can, and then you also have a well on your farm. So you need to fill up your well, or your watering can at the well, and you water your plant with that. And the watering can can only hold like one usable thing of water at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna be doing a little bit of back and forth between your tool shed and your plants. But as your farm levels up, you get tools that make farming a lot easier. Like eventually you get a water bucket, which can hold 3 uses at a time. And then once you're even higher, you get the ultra soaker, which is pretty much like a water gun that you spray your plants with, and that holds, I think, 10 uses. So and of course, it's kind of like in housing where there's a limit to the number of things you can put down.
Mm-hmm.
You're limited on how many things you can put, how many like plots of soil and other items you can put down on your farm, and that's based off of your farm level. So when you first start out, you're not going to be able to put down too much stuff, but once your farm gets to level 20, I mean, I think you've got 50 different plots you can put down, so you're going to have a bunch of different crops, and we're planning other things to add in the future. I won't go too far into that, but but yeah, there's going to be a lot that you can do with your farm.
Very cool. Joe, do we have any questions in the channel?
Yeah. So how much will farming cost? Is it going to be completely free, or, you know, what kind of cost are we looking at?
A lot of the cost right now for farming is free. I mean, you have to use coin in order to get a lot of this stuff for the farm. So like, in order to plant crops, you need to have soil, and you need to buy soil from either like merchant NPCs in the game or just through the coin shop. And I mean, it's mostly free. I mean, it's going to have the membership level locking, so you need to be a member if you want to get past level 5 on your farm. and believe there are convenience items that'll make, like station cast items that are going to make farming easier. I think right now we only have fertilizer maybe, and that is going to accelerate the grow time of your plants. That'll cost like a small amount of station cash to use that. But it's right now it's free-ish.
So there's some parts that you can do for free, and then you can pay for going more advanced.
You can you need to be a member to get past level 5 in the farm, and to do more advanced things or to make farming easier for you, you can actually pay station cash for items to make your life easier.
Cool. Any other questions, Joel?
Sure. Will there be extra farming lots, like different areas and stuff? So I'm wondering if there's going to be different lot types, I guess.
Right off the bat, there's only going to be the initial one farming lot. I believe there are plans down the line to have additional lots, kind of similar to how it is with housing. So yeah, for kind of like different area locations. But right now, it's only the one.
How often will you need to farm so you can keep your crops from dying?
That's a good question, actually. Different plants have different grow times, so it kind of you've got the control over how you want to plant, how to do it. There are plants with a short grow time, so say if you just kind of want to log on and do some quick farming, you just plant a bunch of your slow progress crops, and I think they've got like a 4 or 5 minute grow time on them, something like that. And you just kind of have to water them, make sure pests don't get them. That's another thing. You have to keep your crops safe from like pests, like birds and bugs will come and try and eat your crops.
Oh no.
So you need to kind of, and I think like gophers and rabbits too. So on top of kind of having to maintain your crops, keeping them watered and nurturing them, you also need to keep them safe from all these menaces. So it's a fair amount of work, but like I said, I think the reward's definitely going to be worth it. But I already lost track of what the initial question was.
How often will you need to
that's
farm?
right.
Oh, yeah.
So different plants have different grow times. So there's the short range ones, and then there are going to be like longer, like several hours, if not even like day grow times. So, and you can even mix and match that. So the amount of involvement and how much you need to do is completely up to the player, and it's however much you want to do with it.
And are there different crops available at different levels? And do those crops contribute to your level? To the XP?
Yes. Okay. How you earn XP on your farm is by you can do quests on the farm. You actually have a neighbor. It's actually an old familiar face on the. If anyone played the game when it first came out, we had a tutorial area, and one of the NPCs there was Farmer Chug. It was kind of a nod to our older players. That's actually what I was in charge of. I added Farmer Chug back.
Oh, good.
So he's a neighbor that's going to kind of eventually kind of wander over to your farm, and he'll give you farming quests to do. And he also has he's kind of a tutorial himself, so he'll kind of show you the ropes, show you what to do. And you earn experience by doing his quests. So that's one way to earn experience for your farm, and the other way is just to harvest your crops. So once you get them up to a harvestable state, you harvest them. Not only do you get the crop, but you get experience for your farm. And starting off, you're limited to the number of seeds you have. I think you only have 3 seeds available at level 1, a level 1 farm. And the higher level your farm is, the more variety of seeds you gain access to.
Does that mean that there will be new recipes for Chef using the new plants?
Currently there isn't anything, but that doesn't mean that there couldn't be in the future. Right now we're focusing just on getting farming working, but I can't say whether we are or aren't going to do that.
Nothing's out of the question.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, there's a special shout out. Can you give a shout out to Caden, who's watching on his iPhone from his hospital bed?
Oh, hi, Caden.
Hi, Caden.
Hi,
we,
Caden.
we actually, over on the Free Roams teams, we heard about him. We were, our producer was sending around a card, and we're sending him a little get well card to hope he feels better.
Now you spoiled the surprise.
I know, you spoiled the surprise. We have a surprise coming to you, Caden.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, we won't tell you what else we're sending you. You know, I do hope you feel much better. I'm glad to see you. I saw you posting on Facebook the other day, so I'm glad to see that you're feeling a little bit better. So, but I'm glad to see that you're watching as well. So, Get better.
Yeah, feel better.
Cool. How are we doing on time?
Wrap it up.
Well, okay. Well, before I cut off, I just wanted to let you guys know. So while I'm working on Free Realms, I feel like when I was growing up, I had a collection of over 800 stuffed animals that I used to have in my room, shelves full of them. You know, I think that was the last count. I think it was like over 900 by the time I actually moved out of my parents' house. But that didn't mean that I didn't bring them all with me.
Question from the audience. Were you on Hoarders?
No, I wasn't on Hoarders, and I bet you that was Ashlyn who asked that question.
Actually, it was me. But
Oh, no, I wasn't on Hoarders, but I definitely had a lot of stuffed animals. So now that I'm working on Free Realms, I feel like I can start bringing some of those to work to help motivate me with coming up with new crazy ideas. So this is my little happy face, Smiley, and whenever I'm trying to come up with something really fun to do, I always look at Smiley and I ask him, "Hi, how are you doing today, Smiley? Really? What do you think we should do for the people today? Do an event? Are you serious?" Well, you know what? I think we're going to do some events. So this is Smiley. And of course, since I'm working on Free Realms, I have to have my little Rob Goblin. Yay! He doesn't talk very much, but he's going to help out Smiley. And then maybe we can get him to smile a little bit and make him not being as mischievous as he normally is when we find him in game. So anyway, I wanted to just introduce them to you. And maybe for the next webcast, I'll bring some other ones to introduce to you. And you'll know that they're behind the scenes helping me out with events. So, and then I just proved the case that I'm a little crazy. I don't know. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining us today, and thank you, Chris, for coming to tell us about farming.
It's my pleasure.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, everybody. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.